So let's end on a good note. So I'll go with the not so easy part. So a lot of places were created, and unfortunately still are being created, without the needs of disabled people in mind at all. So take my home country of Nigeria, with the green, white, green flag. If there is a situation where there are stairs for you to be able to get to school, to the bank, to the place of business, to your wherever it might be, if you cannot get up the steps, you can't get up the steps. Like, that's just it.
That's it.
That's it. Like, you just don't go here.
Yeah.
So for me, with my specific brand of polio, because polio has been known to cause paralysis where people don't have any use of their legs and do need to use a wheelchair to get around, I'm able to do stairs. So I'd rather not, because it does apply undue pressure upon me, but I am able to do it. And I'm like, you know what, while I'm here and this is a place that I have to go to, I'm going to do it because I still do have the ability to. But it's completely unfair because certain countries, cities, or even attractions are completely off limits because somebody just decided you can't sit with us.
Well, I was also thinking about that because you're saying that you travel, and I was thinking, if I travel, like, the place I'd like to go is Japan, and I was thinking all the attractions that I'd like to go to are like shrines, and from anime, because I watch a lot of that.
Black girl nerds, they exist.
I mean,
and I'm not pointing at myself because I only watch quite a little bit. Like, I watch Dragon Ball Z, but that's not really like deep into it. That's only like starter level that everybody knows. Hey, Goku.
I'm not gonna shade people for not being into anime, because do you know what? We've all watched cartoons, and if you've watched cartoons, you're part of the crew.
Okay, so then I'm a black girl nerd. Oh my god, I'm a blurred.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that phrase anyway, because I feel like it's... Anyway, whatever.
It's racializing it. Why can't I just be a nerd?
Yeah, no. I don't mind black nerds and that idea, but I just think the idea of a nerd in itself, I don't know how I feel about that, because I just think people like what they like. I like what I like.
That's true. But I think it's so a lot of spaces are just inaccessible. And in some instances, they feel violently so. It's just kind of like, no, I'm not even trying to say that for the last, but it's just like, it would be so easy. Like, it would be so easy. Even if it's just kind of like, oh, do you know what? If the money ain't there like that and the government isn't trying to support you in any way, like, to create a ramp. Just a wooden or steel, whatever ramp, just to get you from outside to inside. Something, you know? Like, that doesn't cost a lot. And if it does, you need to talk to your government, cause shit. But like, yeah, and actually I would like to make it hella topical right now. There was an article on the BBC, I forget the woman's name, and she talked about the things that she has to deal with as a black woman traveling, and she detailed her experience while traveling in India. And everybody should definitely read this, by the way. It's really worth reading, and it's really an eye-opener for some if you don't travel as a black woman. And there's been a follow-up, I think it was on the Metro or BuzzFeed or one of those, where other black women had shared their little snippets of what it was like to travel as black women wherever around the world that they went to. But this is something that I noticed, and not to say like, oh, these women are not giving a factual account of what happened to them. I completely 100% believe them. But what I've noticed is that the fact that I'm traveling as a disabled black woman takes the threat of my blackness away. Because people are so focused on the patheticness of the disability, how they might see it, or it's just kind of like a guilt thing, a savior thing, like I want to help you kind of thing. I have not experienced racialized instances while traveling because they're so focused on my crutches, because they're so focused on my caliper, because they're so focused on helping me. And I myself have been to India, what was it, like 2 years ago? Nothing like that. There was a lot of focus on my disability, like, oh no, you don't have to pay to get in here, and it costs maybe, let's say, like 300-400 rupees. Like, this is less than £5. I'm like, bro, let me pay, like, it's no issue. And they wouldn't let me because they're like, you know what? You poor thing. You're disabled. You've already got it bad enough. And I'm just kind of like,
I like those kind of perks. That sounds like a good
perk. No, but like, it was just, so these racialized instances of travel experiences I haven't had because people are focusing on my disability.
That is so interesting. That has not been my experience, Jay.
No. Why do you think that is?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's something about a wheelchair. I don't know. This is just me talking. But maybe there's something about a wheelchair that offends people or makes them feel that you're not trying, or makes them feel like you've given up. Do you know what I mean? And it's also, on top of that, it makes them feel that you're a burden because you're not able to even carry your own weight, right? To walk. So if they already see black people in a certain way and they see them as lazy, they see them as a burden on society, and then on top of that you're also a physical burden and you're jeopardizing space, you're jeopardizing, you know, the procedures, my health and safety procedures, you're making us have to make adjustments, then you are kind of
asking for too much kind of thing? So your existence is
like, why?
Yeah.
And so it's interesting hearing that, and I'm like that. And also maybe because of how I present in a wheelchair, maybe if I were not to make as much effort in my physical appearance, maybe if I were
That's
to
an
be
interesting
grumpy,
point to note, actually. But I'll save that for another thing. But the way like disabled people look, they're really surprised when you're put together, and it's just kind of like, my mother wouldn't let me leave the house otherwise. But you know, that's our point. For
that's another time. But anyway, so I just find it interesting that it's different. So,
but then, do you think your height might have something to do with it as well?
I'm sitting down.
No, but people can still tell.
Most people don't pay enough attention to people in wheelchairs to notice that stuff.
There is an ignoring aspect of it, and I can't remember where I read it, but it said like a certain percentage of British people, like, because they feel so awkward around disabled people that they wouldn't even strike up a conversation. So it was like, I would see you there and I would choose not to, just because, I don't want to offend you, I don't want to say the wrong thing. It's like, they're a person, talk to them.
No, they're not.
But then they...
No, they're not, obviously. They're not a person, obviously.
But then it's just kind of like, there's, I don't know, something that seems to be holding them back from even saying hello. And I'm like, that's nonsense, I feel. So, but yeah.